Hey guys, welcome to the new video, and today I'm gonna show you the best way and the fastest way how you can set your anchor without backing up and just like from the first try every time. We've been living on the boat for 2 years, actually a little bit more than 2 years already, and we setting anchor a lot. For example, in the summertime, when we travel a lot, when we're cruising a lot, it could be we can set like anchor 2-3 times per day and then new locations. We know about anchoring quite a lot, and we also had a situation when our anchor was dragging a lot, and we had even two situations when our boat was dragging quite a lot. Stay tuned, watch this video, and I hope you will enjoy it. How you can see right now, we are approaching our anchorage, which we were planning to stay on. Just to make sure that everything's gonna be smooth, you just need to find your spot on the charts, or just visually if you know the area. It will help you kind of visually control where you want to drop the anchor, and it also help you to understand what scope you need to drop. So let's say before, when we were using our old anchor, we were using Dunford, and we had to use really big scope. So what does a scope means? Scope is just pretty much how much chain or chain plus rope you need to drop for specific depth of the sea or water. So let's say if you have 10 feet of water on your anchorage, and your scope is 3-to-1 or 5-to-1, so you need to drop 50 feet of chain for 5-to-1 scope for 10 feet of water, or 30 feet of chain for 3-to-1 scope on 10 feet of water. So pretty much just multiply how deep it is to how many times you need to drop, because anchor need to have some scope to stay in place. There's a misconception around the boating, what it's chain holding you on your own place. You need to have your like heavy chain and this is gonna hold you. No, that's not really anchor what's holding you, because we have the same setup in terms of chain right now. So we have 100 feet of chain and 200 feet of rope, and right now we have Mantus M2 anchor, and compared to the Danforth, it's just it's insane how big of a difference. So we put the same scope, Danforth will not hold us at all, and Mantus will hold us even in the like strong winds. So you need to find the right anchor. You can use your chain though to help you. So let's say if your anchor is really bad, you can put a lot of chain, and of course it's gonna help you to stay on one place. We survived on our Danforth even during gale, when we dropped almost 200 feet of so 100 feet of chain and 100 feet of rope for only 15 feet of water. So it's like the depth was about 15 feet and we had like scope of 200, so 200 to 15, it's like what, almost 10-to-1. So it's kind of crazy. You technically can stay even with the super shitty anchor, but you need to have a lot of space, because the more scope you're gonna drop, the more swing you will have. And the swing is when your boat start going left and right. There's a lot of downsides, so better to have a really nice anchor and the right amount of scope. Right now we're using just only maximum 3-to-1, sometimes 4-to-1, never more than that, because with the current Mantus anchor, I mean, there is no point to drop more, it just holds like crazy. We even tried to stay at 2-to-1 ratio and it just still holds. When you figure out on your position where you want to stay, where you see your marker, etc., you just pretty much approach towards your target. We're usually approaching this place at speed about 2 to 4 knots. You don't need to really go faster than that. And right before you start dropping the anchor, you don't need to stop, you don't need to back up, you don't need to do pretty much anything, just slow down. I usually slow down closer to 2 knots, maybe like 1.8 knots, and I start dropping an anchor. In my case here, I would need to drop about 50 feet of chain before it started catching the surface, but I'm dropping here about 100 feet because I just want to stay here for a really long time, even though there's only 20 feet of water underneath. Roughly 5-to-1 scope, which is gonna be more than enough for us to stay for a long time. So when you reach this kind of 50 feet mark, which is already a place where anchor will stop grabbing, you need to make sure what you drop your speed roughly to 1 knot. You don't have to go faster, and also what you want to do, you want to turn your steering wheel just to make sure what the boat will kind of turn around. This will technically simulate behavior of the boat, how it behaves during strong wind. Anchor will still try to grab on. The speed would be quite fast enough to set the anchor properly, but not fast enough to destroy the front part of your boat. And that's it. The boat will just turn back towards the wind and the anchor is going to be set. And after that, when you turn your wheel, you can easily put your gear in neutral, go forward and start preparing your bridle. In my case, you can see what it's a little bit tangled with wires and mess in my locker. Well, that's real life. That's how it usually happens. And when you untangle it, you can just like easily set the bridle, lower it down, and we really like to put extra line on the cleat in the back, just in case if bridle gonna fail, we still have like something holding the anchor, plus the windlass itself is also gonna hold the anchor, so we have like 3 layers of protection, which is also good. After that process, you're pretty much done, so don't need to do anything. Your anchor is set and you're not gonna go anywhere. We've been doing this like several times a day in the summer times, and we're doing it like a lot because we live full time on the boat, we travel a lot. It's not gonna work every time. Sometimes you really need to stop and back up, but it's usually in the case when you have wind which blows towards you. There is ways how you can do the same strategy. So if you have enough space, you can just like turn around on the same speed and just, you kind of don't lose time, you don't lose momentum. Even 90 degrees towards the wind would be enough. You just start dropping the anchor and it will turn you by the wind and will stretch you with the wind. So pretty much what we're using here, we're using the combination of wind and momentum to set our anchor. But sometimes when the anchorage is too narrow and there's too many boats around, you still would have to stop and back up with the anchor in the right direction. Always stretch your anchors in direction where the wind is blowing, of course, because I mean otherwise it's gonna fail immediately. Anchoring is pretty easy when you have a good anchor. I hope this video was helpful for you, and see you in the next one. This is insane. Look at this wind. It's just turning boats back and forward. Even this huge one is just turning so fast, even us right now. And look at this anchor monitoring. It's just, we're standing on its own place. It was first time and I dropped only 100 feet. Usually in such a wind I would drop maybe like, what, I don't know, almost 200 feet. Sorry, I just woke up. Oh my god.